Housing Authority Board of Commissioner meetings are held on the third Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. All meetings are conducted at PRHA's main office, 3116 South Street, Portsmouth, Virginia, 23707, unless otherwise noted. All members of the public are welcome to attend. Madam Secretary, roll call.
All right. Commissioner Kovacic?
Yes.
Commissioner Lalonde?
Here.
Commissioner Morgan?
Here.
Commissioner Roberts?
Here.
Commissioner Washington?
Here.
Vice Chair Chapman? And Chair Smith.
Yeah.
We do have a quorum.
Awesome. Commissioners, before you have the minutes, is there any in readiness?
I move approval.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Ross and Commissioner Lalonde, for the motion in a second. Madam Secretary?
All right. Commissioner Kovacic?
Yes.
Commissioner Lalonde?
Yes.
Commissioner Morgan?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Abstain.
Commissioner Washington?
Yes.
Vice Chair Chapman? And Chair Smith.
Yes. All righty. Before we have old business, Mr. Bland?
No, I don't have that.
No old business, okay. Finance? Nothing. All right. Security. That brings us down to housing.
That's me.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Bob.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Happy holidays to you all. Met with Commissioner Lalonde a little while ago. We talked about our write-offs. So the first resolution is for the write-offs for the assisted housing. We are requesting to write off 6 delinquent accounts totaling $4,269.30. And you all have the attachments with you, which represents much less than what we wrote off last time, which was $30,822. Asking for you all to approve our.
Yes, ma'am. Awesome.
Awesome.
Any comments, anything, commissioners? Bob? There being none? Thank you, Bob. Resolution. I got to read it. That's right.
I gotta take those two together.
We can.
Okay. And the next write-off is in our public housing developments, which we are requesting to write off.
$5,303.15.
6 delinquent accounts totaling $5,803, which all your attachments are.
Hold on. On the right page.
Behind number
It's
5.
behind number 5.
There we go. All right. Resolution 2018-55. Resolution writing off the uncollectible resident account receivable assisted housing. Whereas the Portsmouth Redevelopment Housing Authority, hereinafter called the authority, has made all reasonable attempts to collect the delinquent accounts receivable, including rents, access utility charges, and legal fees, which are listed below. And whereas the individuals owing delinquent accounts receivable have not lived in the authority, owned low rent housing for a period of at least 6 months, nor has the authority been able to locate these individuals. And whereas the list of delinquent account receivable is at least 6 months old, and whereas this is in accordance with HUD Financial Management Handbook 7445.1 revised. Now therefore be it resolved that the following accounts receivable be declared uncollectible and deleted from accounting records of the authority. Chair's in need of
A motion to approve resolution 2018-55, writing off uncollectible resident accounts receivables for assisted housing.
Second.
Has been motioned and properly second, Madam Secretary.
All right. Excuse me. Commissioner Kovacic?
Yes.
Commissioner Lalonde?
Yes.
Commissioner Morgan?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Washington?
Yes.
And Chair Smith.
Yes. Resolution 2018-56, the resolution writing off uncollectible resident account receivable public housing. Whereas the Portsmouth Redevelopment Housing Authority, hereinafter called the authority, has made all reasonable attempts to collect the delinquent accounts receivable, including rents, excess utility charges, and legal fees, which are listed below. And whereas the individuals owing delinquent accounts receivable have not lived in authority owned low rent housing for a period of for a period of at least 6 months, nor has the authority been able to locate these individuals. And whereas the list of delinquent account receivable is at least 6 month old, and whereas this in accordance with the HUD Financial Management Handbook 7475.1 revised. Now therefore be it resolved that the following accounts receivable be declared uncollectible and deleted from the accounting records of the authority.
Just before I make the resolution, just a comment, and Val, if I'm out of line, but even though we're writing them off, it doesn't mean that the collection efforts stop. There's still judgments that are against these folks. There's still tax offsets that are going against these folks. So we just need to, this is basically an effort to clean up the books. So I make a resolution to approve resolution number 2018-56, resolution writing off uncollectible resident accounts receivables, public housing.
Second.
There's been motion, probably second.
All right. Commissioner Kovacic?
Yes.
Commissioner Lalonde?
Yes.
Commissioner Morgan?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Washington?
Yes.
And Chair Smith?
Yes.
Before we move on, if I can, you all are doing such a wonderful job. I've seen those numbers in the past be much higher, but 1% is, that's unreal. So
Thank you.
congratulations and great job.
Thank you.
Val, you want me to mention the two agencies we send uncollectible to, the state and the
It's the state agency. What we do is when a person moves out, we put it in the system. So if they get lottery winnings or income tax, it comes to us first.
and also we send them to
Oh,
HUD.
and HUD, it's in our system. Mhm.
Yeah, so we never lose track of them if they show up in public housing again.
No, ma'am.
Or federal or state
Thank you.
Correct.
taxes.
Correct.
Not federal,
It's
Why not
state.
federal?
It's state.
the state.
Really?
So when they file their state taxes, it'll.
What,
We're only
any
authorized-
reason why
we're
it's
only
not
authorized
federal?
to do- We're only authorized to do state.
Get the higher,
Any particular reasons that, because these are federal dollars?
Yeah, what we do is, they also is put into the federal system in case you apply for assisted
Other
housing,
housing.
public housing.
No taxes.
They cross-reference that against the Social Security number.
Debt owed. And it's called debt owed. So it's a form that they fill out when they come to move in, and they sign it, and before they move in, we run their social. And if they owe any money to any other agency or vice versa, it'll come up, it'll reflect on the reports.
All right. Thank you, Val. Anything else, Commissioner? Thank you. Development, we have nothing today. Human resources.
Commissioner, before you is resolution number 2018-57. It just, on that resolution, is to increase the travel allowance and conference allowance for the commissioners going to conference. In 2018, it was 5,000. We increased it to 6,000 because we know with everything's going up, staying at a hotel, conference fees, airfare, and all of that. So we took it up to $6,000 for a calendar year. And we would always look at this every calendar year to see if we need to increase. So this way, at least allow, to give you the opportunity to go to at least 2 of the national conferences that are held. And I sent you a calendar, all of you got a calendar for the 2019 conferences that are coming up. Any questions?
I did have one comment, and while I appreciate the ability to attend these conferences, total budget item of $42,000 seems high to me. In a time period where we're talking about continuing to cut operating expenses, I would love to go to Miami, but it just doesn't feel right to me. And I've happened to price out, the Miami trip, and that's one thing that they didn't mention in the resolution was that it was just for the commissioner and not spouse, because I did notice on the website that it includes prices for your spouse to attend. But I don't know, just to me, it feels a little high. I'm not sure what our entire training budget is for the staff, but I'd much rather see the money go to them, to send them to train versus us. But that's just my...
Right. Also, staff is, they also go to a lot of training too. So it's not only just the commissioners. And normally at those conferences, you meet other commissioners from other housing authorities. And also at the national conference, there's always employees from HUD that attend those conferences, and they put on some of the work sessions. So those various conferences, they are sanctioned by HUD. But I understand what you're saying. Based on our 19 budget for year 19, we can support that budget line item, yeah.
I was just curious about how much we spent of the budget last year, since it was about 35,000.
I can have those numbers available for the next board meeting, what we spent last year.
Just so we,
Okay,
I mean, what's actual and how is it?
yeah, I can have those available, I can have that for you. So what I need is a vote on the resolution 2018-57.
Any other comments, Commissioner? Chair, need a motion on resolution 2018-57, resolution authorizing the approval of the budget allowance for the Board of Commissioners attendance at the housing industry conferences.
Considering the fact that we have lots of new commissioners over the last 2 years, I move that we accept the resolution 2018-57, resolution authorizing the approval of a budget allowance for the Board of Commissioners attendance at housing industry conferences.
Thank you, Commissioner Roberts. Chair, need a second. All y'all ain't got to speak at once.
Since it didn't go through, then it would stay at what it was previous year, which it was the 5 and 6.
Okay.
That's okay. All right. Number 9, reports. Elaine?
In your package, you had the significant activity report for your reading. Any questions or concerns concerning that report? If you haven't had an opportunity to go thoroughly through it, if you have any questions or concerns, if you get those to me, I can get back to you, or I can have it at old business for the January board meeting if you have any questions on this.
Of course, there's a couple observations. The significant events report didn't mention the Swanson Home Health Clinic that was put in, and I was just wondering how it's going at Swanson.
Well, they had their kickoff on December 30th, and it was very nice. On January 10th and 24th, 2019, they have scheduled, the clinic will be open from 9 to 12. So that's the 10th and the 24th.
And then I was very impressed that we had 7 new landlords. That's great, to the Housing Choice Voucher Program. I think that's fantastic. I mean, there was one other comment regarding the Medicaid. We've got one of our residents just signed up under Medicaid, and with the Medicaid expansion, that's something we ought to be supporting with the public housing, make sure that folks that can sign up for insurance will get insurance. So my thanks to the staff for the work on those 2 issues.
We'll say that Medicaid thing again.
Yeah, we had one of our residents has signed up, was able to sign up because of some of the training we do for Medicaid. They signed up through the expansion program, so that's specifically mentioned that Brittany had worked with the client on that, so that's great that she's doing that.
Wow. So how did Rob talk to you? That's great.
Can I ask a quick question? I probably should have maybe asked in prior months, but for whatever reason, this one jumped out at me. Could you explain on the first page, under number 3, I see that applications taken of 7, is that, I guess that's new applications taken for residency?
For accessible.
Okay.
Just for the accessible. All of the
Okay.
units are currently-
Because I was trying to figure out what the eligible and ineligible, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like I said, if once you have time to really read through it, you have any additional questions, just either shoot me an email and call me, so we can respond to those, whatever questions or concerns you may have in that significant report.
it. Anything else, commissioners? All right. All right, team remarks, Executive Director, Mr. Blaine.
Just a reminder, we're having our first annual, we're doing in collaboration with the Park District tonight at the hotel, so looking forward to that. We hope that after this year will become an annual event in collaboration with them. And I want to also say happy holiday to all of Commissioner, and want to thank you, and the staff want to thank you for your support for 2018 that you've given the Portsmouth Redevelopment and Housing Authority, and we look forward to continue to move forward in 2019. And once again, happy holiday, and hope to see you tonight at the function, and so you can enjoy what we have.
Awesome, all right. Thank you, Mr. Blaine.
I'm sorry, one other item, just remind, I did your handout on the email we got from HUD. This is a standard procedure. They're beginning to go around to all the housing authorities now to look at the financials. So they will be here in January. We look forward to them coming. You know, always look at, you know, when they come to look at stuff, it's not bad. It kind of tells us what we're doing good, what we're doing bad, and what we need to improve on. So we look forward to them coming, and they are doing probably 80–90% of the housing authorities across the country. They really started doing it a couple of years ago. We will see what the outcome would be. We started looking at stuff going back to 2014, 2015, and if we have the information, we will provide it. If we don't have it, we will let them know we just don't have it. But at least they'll tell us changes we need to make going forward, and we look forward to that. So I just gave that to you for your reading. Don't be alarmed. We'll wait for the results, and then we can get that to you.
Is that this letter?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, and we met with Shannon. When we met with Shannon and talked about this, I asked her that prior to the next board meeting, we meet together to go over those things that she feels may be areas that we ought to, as a board members, we ought to know about before they come aboard. You know, this is not, you know, what's happened from 2014 has happened, but at least we ought to know about it, especially if there's any type of financial impact on the board. As board members, we take responsibility for anything that's happened at that time. But you know, audits are audits, and as we all know, you can take them as stress them out, or you can take them as an opportunity to show off. And I'm sure that's what we're going to do, an opportunity to show off, because this organization does great work.
And the last thing I have is, if you remember, a couple of months ago, we did a draft bylaw change for the board, and Commissioner Morgan graciously volunteered to be a part of. I need 2 commissioners to kind of work, a governance committee, so we can go through the bylaws over the at least next couple of months or so, so we can come back to the full board with what we feel we need to do to tighten up our bylaws. And so I'm hoping that, I know Commissioner Morgan had agreed, and need one more commissioner that could, if they would volunteer to be a part, to work with us.
We both agreed to do it.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, and the chairperson also. And I will get with them too, so we come up with some dates. We figure we're probably gonna meet 4, 5, 6 times. It may take us 4 or 5 months to come to have something that they feel comfortable with, that we can present to the full board for approval. And once again, I think all of you received a draft. If you could kind of go back through that again and look at it and get your comments back to me, I appreciate it, so that when we sit down and meet, we can incorporate those your comments, so we come up with something final. Okay. That's it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Blaine. Commissioners' comments? Commissioner Moore?
Did have a couple. First, has there been any update with FHLB on the receipt of those AHP grants from Dale 1 and 2? Have we had any further conversations?
No, she told me she was working on it, and hopefully she'll have some resolution to us by the end of the year.
Okay. And then the second thing was, I know several months ago there was a discussion in regards to the investment policy of the authority due to a brokerage account I think we had. I would maybe ask that maybe in January we revisit that and maybe have a presentation, because I did review the statement, and I'm not a bond expert by any means, and so I think it would be a good idea to have a representative come and just kind of explain what we're doing and maybe make suggestions on how we can do things better, because I think from what I read in the previous policy, that seems to be a purview of the board. And that's not necessarily something that is handled strictly by our finance department.
Any other commissions?
Yeah, a couple 5 things. One, the EDA had a great holiday party that, and I thought they really did a good job of touting some of the things that they're doing. The particular one is the company that got the cannabis license for one of the 5 licenses for the state of Virginia. They're putting their headquarters here in Portsmouth, so that's good for revenue. Again, back to that. You know, we just need to start getting out what we're doing. I mean, there must have been 75 people at that function, business people, council people, the EDA staff, those folks who are concerned about the success of Portsmouth, it was from a Portsmouth Redevelopment Housing Authority side. It was very lonely in the room there. So we talk a lot about collaboration. We just need to execute it. I was impressed with the website meeting. We had a website meeting last week with Ms. Winston and the IT folks, so we are moving ahead on the website to make it more user friendly. Back to that thing about collaboration. A lot in the paper about police incidences at Dale Homes and Swanson Homes. And I would ask that sometime in the near future, or maybe as a part of the meeting, that we be more aware, other than reading in the paper, of what's going on for safety and security at our public housing units. The ones at Dale were aggravated assaults and break-ins into the rooms there. At Swanson, I think it was destruction of property also. Well, that concerns me when, you know, what is our level of security in the public housing. The city council, there was a lot. I don't know who to ask. I guess back to this issue of collaboration. The city council and the school board have their regular meetings. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that I would think that we would want y'all to bring back to us to let us know what they're doing, but particularly EDA, a lot of things that they're doing that may or may not impact. Also, there's a lot of voting going on about housing money, right? And I'm not hearing at this meeting about the housing money. What was unassigned fund balance for the purpose of acquiring economically significant property within Portsmouth, short-term loans, Economic Development Authority for short-term loans. There was some about buying some of the properties that they're buying. I know some of this may or may not be properties that we gave, but I would hope that we had an interest in it. There was also an ordinance about accepting home investment partnership money. So a lot of things going on. Then on the school side, I know we had talked about the school board about trying to look at the land they have to see if there's any avenues for taking over some of that property that they had and putting public housing on. So I guess I'm asking here that I'm not hearing enough from the staff about what the city's doing that impacts us, particularly regular meetings that they have. The last one I want to talk about, there's been, in this building, there's been deaths of people's families. There's been retirements of people who've been here a long time. I'm just hearing about a young lady who had a car accident that's in a significant position on the staff, and she had she's got 3 fractures in her back. I want to make sure, at least from my standpoint, I'm part of this family, and I'd like it to know when my family's hurting. All right, I can't fix these things, but I'd just like to know about it. So if I can send a note or do a prayer or something for them, I'd like to know about it. But particularly when we only have 100 people on the payroll here. But when somebody significantly dies on their family, please let me know, all right? Because, you know, I was appointed this commission to help. I can't help if I don't know. And so I'm asking again, let me be part of the success of this organization. That's all I have.
Any other commissioners? Thank you, Commissioner Lonnie. Okay, there being none, it comes to me. We've had a great year for the most part, up and down like anything else. But I'm just the same sentiment as Bruce and Ross and everybody else at the board to continue to see us learn, grow, and change as an agency, as a board, and continue to move just this agency forward, but also helping our city council by, just, hey, let's move the city forward. We are redevelopment and housing authority. That's who we are. So I just look forward to 2019, and it's real excited. Just real excited about that. That's all I have for my comments, and I'll move on to the next thing. All right, got to read this. Public speakers. PRHA allows up to 5 minutes to speak. Do we have any speakers? No. Okay. All right. Time for me to move to the resolution to go into closed session. Go ahead. 10. 10. Gotcha. All right. Resolution 2018-58, resolution of intent to meet in closed meeting. Whereas the Virginia Freedom of Information Act provides that the Board of Commissioners can meet in a closed meeting for the discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for a public purpose, or of a disposition of a publicly held real property, where a discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body as set forth in section 2.2-3711A3 of the Code of Virginia as amended. The matters for discussion are the disposition of properties located at 818 County Street and 8 Crawford Parkway, and therefore be resolved in compliance with the Virginia Freedom of Information Act and the above referenced section of the Code of Virginia. The Board of Commissioners shall reconvene in a closed meeting on December 20th, 2018 to discuss or consider the disposition of publicly held real property. Section 2.2-3711A3. Chair's motion to go in closed session.
I move that we accept the resolution 2018-58 to go into closed session.
Thank you.
Second.
It's been motion and properly second.
All right. Commissioner Kovacic?
Yes.
Commissioner Lalonde?
Yes.
Commissioner Morgan?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Washington?
Yes.
And Chair Smith.
Resolution 2018-59, resolution of certification of the closed meeting of December 20th, 2018 pursuant to section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Portsmouth Redevelopment Housing Authority and the Portsmouth City Council has reconvened. Am I reading the wrong thing?
Yeah, you're the wrong one.
Let me just
The
mark that out.
certification of the closed meeting. Yeah.
Let me just mark that out, hold on. There we go. Whereas the Board of Commissioners and the Portsmouth Redevelopment Housing Authority has reconvened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to affirmative recorded votes in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law, and therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted from the opening meeting requirements of the Virginia law, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion reconvening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the Board of Commissioners in this closed meeting. Chair's need a motion.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
It's been moved properly second, Madam Secretary.
All right. Commissioner Kovacic?
Yes.
Commissioner Lalonde? Commissioner Morgan?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Washington?
Yes.
And Chair Smith.
Okay, all right. Yes, I'm sorry. Correspondence, Mr. Blaine.
Nothing but Alicia have
I do. Something really quick. I am before you again to let you know we need to amend our agency plan again. I hate to do this to you all, but if we don't have an activity within our 5-year action agency plan, then we have to amend it. Any activity in excess of $100,000. There's a new activity. Our trash truck broke, and then our inspector's vehicle is in disrepair as well. So because those activities were not listed into our 5-year plan, we can't use capital funds for that activity. So because of that, we need to have a public comment period, 45-day public comment period, and then we have, yes, yes we do. And so I want to hold a special call meeting on February the 5th at 5 o'clock for the public hearing, just for you all to vote, no longer than 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. Just to give authorization for us to add those new activities into our capital budget for this upcoming year. Had we known it was going to break, we could have added it with the previous amendment, but we didn't have any idea that it was going to break down.
So the 5th is a Tuesday,
Yes,
and gonna be what time?
5. I'll remind you all in January as well. I'll remind you. I just want to give you a heads up because it is a 45-day comment
Thank you.
period for that as well. But this will allow us to go ahead and purchase those vehicles that we need.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty. Mr. Bland?
Nothing.
Okay, thank you so much. You have anything, sir? No, so you don't. Okay, upcoming events, December 2018, scholarship donations are still being accepted for 2019, deadline February 15th. Donations are accepted all year round. PRHA Force Parks and Rec Leisure Services, Senior Holiday Spectacular tonight at Renaissance Hotel, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then also on the 21st at Roger Brown's Sports Bar in the back banquet hall, they're having PRHA Wonderful Winter Wonderland celebration, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's what I got. And we also got something else special, y'all. Guess whose birthday it is today? Mr. Ed. I thought you were going to just sneak up out of here.
Yes.
Maybe just going to forget that and not tell you happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
May I have another
Okay,
50,
Miss-
50 plus?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Huh? Oh, close the meeting. I'm sorry. All right. Anything else? Meeting manager. Appreciate it.